Hey guys, today we're going to explain the relationship or interaction between two or more either individuals, events, ideas, or concepts in a historical or scientific or technical text based on specific information in the text. So you can choose any of these. What I did was I wanted to do a scientific text, and I'm going to base mine on events that happen in the text instead of individuals or ideas or concepts. So my text is bacteria found in ancient ocean rocks provide clues for life on Mars. The orbital spacecraft landers and rovers sent to Mars under NASA's Mars Exploration Program (MEP) have provided invaluable insight into the red planet's topography, climate, and natural resources. However, finding any evidence of life has proved elusive. Now the discovery of microbial growth found inside ancient, cold oceanic crust in the middle of South Pacific is giving scientists hope that the proof may already be with us. We just need to know where to look. So already the article tells us that scientific discovery with oceanic rock on our Earth might be a um, a groundbreaking breakthrough to be able to find life on Mars, because the way that they're finding the rock under the ocean and our ocean, the way that they do it, they are going to try to do it on Mars, and therefore the relationship between two events would be: one event was they found life in our rocks, and the way that they found it to the discovery of trying to find life on Mars the way that they did it on our planet. So the article goes on to say, the chain of events leading to the unexpected discovery began in 2010 when Yoni Suzuki, an associate professor at the University of Tokyo, joined a team of researchers on the Integrated Ocean Drilling Program (IODP). The research ship, which took the scientists from the tropical island of Tahiti in the middle of the South Pacific Ocean to Auckland, New Zealand, anchored at 3 locations to collect mud and rock samples from the Earth's core, about 410 feet (125 meters) below the seafloor. Depending on the location, the specimens were established to be 13.5 million, 33.5 million, and 104 million years old. And that's a picture. To prevent surface contamination, the samples were first sterilized using an artificial seawater wash and a quick burn. That then began the tedious search for microbes. At that time, the usual process to discover bacteria in rock samples was to strip the rock's outer layer, grind its center into a powder, and count cells from the crushed stone. I was making loud noise with my hammer and chisel breaking open rocks while everyone else was working quietly in the mud, Suzuki recalls. Unfortunately, the researcher found no evidence of bacteria. So the original way they did it was they would just grind the stone and then look in their microscope for bacteria. But when they originally did that with our rock under the sea floor, they didn't find anything. Then the article goes on to say, convinced the ancient rocks harbored life, Suzuki has since been seeking a better way to find evidence. He recently came up with the idea of slicing the rock samples, similar to how pathologists prepare ultra-thin slices of body tissue samples to diagnose illness. To ensure the specimens would not crumble when sliced, Suzuki first coated them in a special epoxy. The thin rock layers were then washed with DNA staining dye and placed under a microscope. Sure enough, a large number of bacteria, which appeared to grow green spheres, were clustered inside tunnels of clay mineral deposits that glowed orange. The excited researcher says, "I thought I was dreaming, seeing such rich microbial life in the rocks." So if you see the bright orange, that is life. So because of Suzuki's new way to look at the rocks and prep the rocks, he was able to find life when before they were not able to find life by just crushing the rocks. Those same rocks that he treated and then viewed in his way allowed him to actually see the bacteria that was there. So because of this event, then that's going to lead them to researching rocks a different way in Mars, because before they were doing the same thing with the Mars rocks. They would crush them up and look for life, but they didn't see any. So they're going to try Suzuki's new method and see if we find life on Mars. So the article goes on to say, DNA analysis revealed that while the species of bacteria from each location were similar, they were not identical. Suzuki and his colleagues estimate that the cracks, measuring about 1 millimeter in width, housed by as many as 10 billion bacterial cells per cubic centimeter. In comparison, the clay samples extracted from the ocean floor only had about 100 bacterial cells per cubic centimeter. The team speculates the clay mineral-filled cracks contain a large concentration of nutrients, upon which the bacteria sustain themselves. The discovery of organisms in the ancient iron and clay-rich rocks is particularly exciting since the environment is similar to that found on Mars. Like Earth, the red planet crust was formed nearly 4 billion years ago from lava that erupted and rapidly cooled and hardened. Though the lakes and other bodies of water that once existed have dried up, they left behind craters of mineral-rich clay, similar to clay found under Earth's sea floor. So they're saying that not only are they going to try this new project with Mars's rocks, the Mars's rocks are also very similar to the rocks that they just did their research on. So it's even more likely that this new method will work with Mars's rocks. Suzuki says minerals are like a fingerprint for what conditions were present when the clay was formed. Neutral to slightly alkaline levels, low temperature, moderate salinity, iron-rich environment, and basalt rock. All of these conditions are shared between the deep ocean and the surface of Mars. The team who published the findings in the journal Communications Biology on April 2, 2020, is now collaborating with NASA's Johnson Space Center to devise a plan to examine the Martian surface rocks collected by rovers. A thrilled Suzuki asserts the discovery of life where no one expected it in solid rock below the seafloor may be changing the game for the search for life in space. Will we finally find evidence of aliens on Mars? Stay tuned. So that's the end of the article. So you can do your article. It could be a historical article. You can do a scientific article like I did, or you can do a technical text, and then just make sure you're finding an interaction between individuals, events, ideas, or concepts in these texts. So you can do it on any article you want as long as it's scientific, technical, or historical, and then just find that interaction between individuals, events, ideas, or concepts. So I want you to write down the two interactions and just tell me how they're interacting, and then tell me which article you chose for this project. All right, thanks for watching.